Hi guys. So I found a new thing on the internet. Actually on my second device, and I said, well, I want to do some podcasts. I don't necessarily have to be on camera all the time, but I want to do some podcasts. I miss podcasting and all that kind of stuff. I want to do it, and so I've been doing research for most of the day or whatever. Because the other day I had surgery, and I have gastroparesis, and so if you've ever had any type of procedure on your stomach, then you know that it's going to be, bad. You're going to be gassy. You're going to be all of the things, right? So, anyway, upon doing my research, I had to go to YouTube because my thing is connecting my podcast to my YouTube channel, the Twanna Show, because that's all I want to do on that particular channel is podcast. I just want to talk. I might do a video, every blue moon to show some things, but it'll probably be a faceless channel unless I decide to interview somebody or something like that. So, I was like, this will be great. So, over here on my main channel, though, I noticed something. I was scrolling through on my tablet, and these communities started popping up from, I'm connected to people that are like really famous, and they have these communities and people are talking to them, via their communities. And when did this happen? I heard about this a long time ago, but I hadn't seen any evidence of it, until just a few minutes ago. And then I went to my studio, I clicked on community, and I saw surprise number 2, community spotlights. And so I have people in my community spotlight, which if you're on YouTube, you might see this on the screen, right? There's Reese Stillborn, there's The Underrated Darkness, there's Caracola Bella, there's Mr. Radio 100, and there's LaJoyce Aldridge. Thank you guys so much for being the featured commenters this week in the community spotlight. And so I thought, this is great. This is a great way to feature people every week. I can see who's in the community spotlight, and I can give them, a little, shout out. That this is, YouTube did a really good thing. Now, at the bottom it says everyone else. I'm not sure if that's from the week or from the month. Like, I'm not sure when they commented, because but there are a lot of people at the bottom. And so another thing, I know you guys have noticed that the content is changed, because over here I just feel like, even though I have my ride or dies over here, the channel itself, it's just not growing. It's not going to grow. And so this, but it's my baby. We got up to 15K, over 15K, and I'm just gonna share the information over here that people will need to grow their channels, what it took for me to get to 15K. I know that's not a big deal, because some of these people on YouTube have well over 100K. That was my goal for this year, until I saw that no matter what I did, it wasn't going anywhere. Like, the channel just isn't growing. So I have to do something, I'm taking some direction and some advice from Roberto Blake. Start a new channel. Just start over. So I'm like, okay, I got a couple of ideas, I miss vlogging, and I also miss podcasting, and you can do all of that on YouTube. So why not, go for it? And then over here, instead of letting the channel just die, how about we just, share some information? This can be the information station. You know what I'm saying? Because it just, when something's like your baby, that's your child, you just don't throw it out. You just don't. I'm never going to delete all of this, content, even though some of the content is outdated and all that kind of stuff. But we have a bunch of files over here. We have the Tim Norman files. We have the Kelly Price files. We've talked about R. Kelly. We've talked about, so many people. And I was gonna do the Wendy Williams, case files over here, but I'm gonna do that on the podcast, and see what's up, because I really need to do some follow-ups on her. I really need to see what's going on with, Wendy. And like I said, some of the videos they do get some views, but I was just like, is it, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on over here. So, I can upload the same type of content every day or every other day, and maybe one video will hit a couple hundred, maybe 300 views or something like that. But I'm like, I don't understand. I keep doing the reactions and stuff like that, which is what I wanted to do the whole time, was like to do reactions. And so maybe I'll just I don't know, we'll see, but I definitely want this to be like an information station, and who knows, maybe I will throw a reaction in every now and then. I don't know. But a lot of people do ask for things like channel reviews. They ask questions of me like, how do you start a YouTube channel, and this, that, and the other. And I thought, this will be, a good place to do all of that. And I may mention it on my other channels so, people can gravitate, and come over here and have a look. But I'm enjoying right now, which it may end up being a series, right? A series of, hey, let's share, YouTube information. So, who knows? We'll see where this goes. I'm not 100% giving up on this channel, but I definitely have to do something with the way the economy is, and having to be monetized. I have to, put different eggs in different baskets. And so, yeah, starting a podcast all over on Spotify is nerve-wracking, but I have to do that as well, because why? The thing is, Anchor merged, I guess, with Spotify for creators. And so, it hurt a lot of people who were on Anchor. We were very comfortable. We were monetized. We had our audiences, and it was like when they merged with Spotify, it kind of fell apart for us. For some of, we don't have millions of, followers. And then some people, would email you and be like, where did you go? Where's the podcast? So it was like they merged, but they forgot about the listeners. Like, you forgot to tell them, hey, we're moving, or we're merging. Like, I don't know. It was a whole thing. It was a mess. So, starting over and, having to do a whole bunch of stuff, it's a lot. Especially when you're sick and you don't feel like doing this and you don't feel like being on camera. It's a lot. So, anyway, I just, I was like, let me get on here and do something, because I did not know about this whole community thing. Like, this is crazy. Now, I'm in the YouTube studio right now, and I'm checking to see, what all, is new, what you can do. I see the content. I see the analytics. Again, I see the community. Now, as far as I can see, the community posting did not roll out to everybody. And as far as when I click the plus sign, I see video, I see short, I see live, and I see post, right? So the posting on the posting for the, creating a post is still the same, but the community, and I'm going to my channel to check this, right? I don't think everybody got it. I don't think everybody, because I see post activity. Post activity is only visible to you and shows recent content you shared to other channel communities. So then you have archived, then you have scheduled, then you have published. And I don't see, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Did everybody get this rolled out? Because I know it's going to look different to us, the creator, as opposed to what it looks like, to everybody else. I don't know. I'm totally, shocked. So let me know what you guys know, and let me know what you guys think about this. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. All right. Good night, or good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon, or whatever time it is. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.